at some point I just decided that the voice would be my crafts, mijn ambacht, because it's so vital, it's so intuitive, and it's your body, it's your heartbeat and your breathing, and it's just kind of basic thing we have as human beings. So yeah, I always sang, and then in 2008 I started to train my voice with a special training called it's a technique, like a style from North India. It's called Drupad. So I studied this in Rotterdam with Marianne Swazek, and in Berlin with Amelia Cooney. And this is like the grounding for my vocal training. I studied textile in my bachelor in Amsterdam. And I started there in 2008 to make like let's say maps, like a map of a church printed on a textile, and then a door in the map would be, for example, opening. A pillar would be a button, and then so it was like kind of clothing that I could wear in transposed to the architecture. So that's kind of and then, for example, a wall would be a cut in the textile. And I did this in 2008. Trait d'Union was the name of the project with Arden Slavnicki. She was my colleague and friend in the department, and she was very good in sewing and also in conceptualizing. So, kind of this work with Arden is up until now, and she designed the voice skin in dialogue with the composers and me, and she also gave it the name because she thought it is like an extension of my body, so it's like unclear where the source comes from. So if it's me or if the speakers are sounding.
Yes, I got that. I just, well, you heard me say that, but that's definitely what is happening, and that's what I think is so perfect and beautiful about this.
First of all, I played in Vorm in January 2018 when Philemon played also in that same night with Joanna and Vanita. It was in the back there, down in the bar. And then we didn't know each other. And then Philemon was like, Janneke, oh, how many speakers do you have hidden? I kind of hear like 4 voices. And then he said, maybe you have to listen to my work. And I was like, okay, I can listen to your work. And I liked his work a lot. It's very textural, so like a lot of textures in the sound. And then he said, okay, I want to make opera for you. And I would like to make electroacoustic music too, so digital tracks. So not just solo voice, but also... And then he said, why don't we put speakers really, like literally on your body, like in your clothes? And so I was like, okay, I remember Arden. And then her partner, Jesse Howard, he's a designer. And so he worked with 3D printing. And then so that's how it evolved. And so with Jesse, Arden, and Philemon, we started to think. His piece, his inspiration is back to the Dutch Indonesian history, because his father is a Dutch soldier, was a Dutch soldier, and he was imprisoned in a Yapo camp in Indonesia in the Second World War. And he wrote letters to his Indonesian wife, the grandmother of Philemon. And in these letters, he also mentioned, he announced that he would be sentenced to death. So these letters are very troubling, very intense, of course, although they seem to be nice. Like the grandfather didn't want to make them very heavy, but yeah. So this was his inspiration: a personal family history, also like Dutch colonial history and war history. During the whole piece, it kind of flows. So it is deconstructed in syllables, then it is just with the vowels. So it's kind of like going through all the emotions. And the poem is about 2 loved ones that are very far from each other and cannot be together. It's kind of very, it has a lot of violence, but it's also a lot of sadness. And I think this goes in the poem. Like just one quote, for example, is... Tertunggu rindu samudra. This means like is waiting the longing of the ocean. So I already said this in the other talk before, but can you imagine how deep this longing is. If it's the longing of the ocean, how big, immense. So it's very visual, but yeah. That's this.
That's
And
I'm
also,
happy that in the end you brought them all together. Then that's
yeah,
I really like that symbolism in there, that you found all these people that were there, and in the end you brought them together, and then when you laid them down, it was was to rest, and we could all move on from that intensity. Is that what you tried to say with that?
yeah, sure. It has tenderness, but also violence, and also anger. So it is all in there, and the process was very heavy too because Philemon gave me 6 pages of musical notation. And in the Indian Drupad singing, I learned from oral tradition. So I had to learn his score, but like through a logic program, listening to the notes. So I could learn it by ear, but still, it was quite a challenge. I always say it because, yeah, it was super hard. But I'm very happy that Philemon joined me. He was always on my side and supporting. So I think we are very satisfied with the results.
And you should be, and very proud as well, bringing it like this.
So Yeah, it's a kind of mix. So it's not a theater, it's not a gimmick that I'm like representing something with this. Although the piece of Philemon has some emotions because of the techniques also. But let's say that, yeah, it comes from what I feel, what you feel also. So if I feel anger or sadness, then I transmit it. But if I fake it, I don't think it comes really. So it has to do with your own feelings in my case.
About the mobility of this device, because you are the speaker and you are actually the screen and the dancer and the voice in one. Where would you like, if you had any spot on this planet where you could do a performance with this, where would we airdrop you?
I never really think like that. I like to move through all layers of society or through nature or architecture. I can say that I'm not really thinking I have to go there or there or there, but I always like to be in places where Chris Gallaret always calls it places of power, like places where there's a special energy, places where you might find traces also from ancestral knowledge, like in old archaeology. So I always like to go to solar clocks or places where there is a kind of special geographical astronomical relation between the stars or the sun and the geography on our planet. It's like something that I explore in my life, in my artistic practice. And so if I would go with this or with myself, or it would just be out of interest, going to places that have this special presence where we can like acknowledge their being. Let's say.
All right, yeah, that's a good answer. Very good answer. Yeah. It's tough to pinpoint one point of power. So this whole planet is just basically, this huge ball of power.
Well, I would like to go to Indonesia with this, for sure, and to Peru. Yeah, for sure. Because this is like the Peruvian and the Indonesian composer need to, So this is a answer, very concrete, of course.
It's okay. It's okay. Yes. Give it up for Janneke. Me too, actually. I want to thank you very much also for these answers and, of course, your beautiful performance and all your energy. Everyone here, I hope you had a fantastic time. And I hope to see you soon, also here in Worm, for future performances. And everyone on the stream, have a safe way home, Nate. Everyone here, have a safe way home. And everyone on the stream, good night. And I hope to see you soon. My name was Kate. Good night.
Thank you so much.